provides a soft life for his woman.
There's a study that says when a man gets married to a woman, his life is longer.
Welcome to Date, Affirm, The Real, our live podcast talking about today's relationships and its effects on us all. Please welcome our hosts, Kia McLean, the poet, and Shamika, the dog therapist. Let's get real.
We're here. We in the building.
Hey.
What's up, everybody? What's up?
Yes.
It's Date Affirm The Real. We appreciate you guys showing up in person. And for those that are on YouTube, for those that are on IG, thanks for showing up. This is the Date Affirm The Real crew. And we'll start introductions from the left to the right.
It's Shamika. I'm Shamika, the dog therapist.
And I'm Kia McLean, the poet.
I'm Marcus Goodwin, right on.
This is Don, Mr. Junior Lilly, the poet.
That's right.
So welcome everybody. Welcome everybody that are here in person, and thanks for everybody that's out there viewing. We've got some people that are en route, but we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. We're excited that we have all four of the hosts and co-hosts for Date Affirm The Real.
Yes.
Date Affirm The Real has been around for almost 4 years.
It's been 4 already?
It's almost been 4 years. We started this because when Marcus and I started dating, we would have these conversations, and he noticed that people would always call me and say, "What do you think about this?" And they would have all these questions, relationship questions, life questions. And I actually recommended that he do his own podcast, but we ended up deciding to do this together. And we weren't very good when it was just me and him.
No. So honestly, I wasn't gonna be able to do it by myself. People like you, baby, like me, at the beginning. But go ahead. I didn't want to put a little bit in. I know. Hey, if you, because I'm healing, I'm learning to stroke my own ego.
That's right. That's right.
I know I stroke myself now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know you're going to get Don started.
Only Marcus can say that and get away with that.
Only Marcus can say it. You're right, Don.
If I say it, they're going to sound a little crazy.
Yeah, it's going to sound crazy from you, Don. It is. But, so we want to talk about how we brought in our two co-hosts. And a lot of you all who have been watching are familiar with the four of us, but you're familiar with seeing us together, the dynamic duo. And then you're used to seeing those two together, the other dynamic duo.
Right on.
Yeah.
Because typically it used to be in past days, it used to be just me and Marcus. For those who started with us, and we got one of our true blues since day one, Missy over here, who has been with us since the inception. And we got some people just walked in from H-Town. We got Markeisha and Ray in the building.
Yes.
That's what's up. Our peoples came through, and we just started. So perfect timing. So I do want to talk about how we brought our co-host in and how that came about and how they've been an extremely beautiful addition to this podcast and how they've helped change the trajectory of this podcast. So my cousin Shamika and I, we always have these really deep conversations, and we'll be on the phone for 2 or 3 hours, talking about relationship stuff, life stuff. And people always kind of get a kick out of watching us. We've never lived in the same city together. She's always been in Cali, right, and I've always been wherever I was. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, cousin, you should do this. Plus, she's a therapist, right? So it made sense that I'm the healing poet, right? I'm talking about healing. I'm writing the poetry of it. And then she is literally out there helping people through her therapy work to do the same thing. And so it only made sense, and we made it look easy, but sometimes people are like, oh, okay. And then actually I met Don about 5 years ago. through, we're authors, and so we kind of know other authors, and so a friend of his invited me to an event, and I met Don at this event. We did poetry together. Him and Marcus met, and I was like, they kind of vibe, right? And then over time, I kept watching how they vibed, and I was like, babe, you should do a guest feature with Don and see how it goes. And I was pleasantly surprised by how well they blended together. And so that's how we got the crew that you all know to be the Date Affirm, the real host and co-host.
Yeah.
So this is how it came to be. So we definitely want to make sure that we give you all your flowers and let you all know we truly appreciate you all showing up each and every Tuesday for us. We appreciate the audience that continues to show up and support. I was telling them last night, and I need to share this more often. When we don't go live, people are messaging like, so what's going on? Y'all on vacation or something? Like, they really want to know what's up. So we appreciate, the listeners and what you all bring to this, because people are really interested in hearing what we have to say. Now, y'all know what I'm getting ready to do. I'm going to tell y'all what I tell y'all. We are not experts, okay? We talk about our lived experiences. We talk about things that maybe other people may share with us about their experiences, but we don't know everything. So eat the fish and throw the bones away. If it's not applicable to you, throw the shit away. You ain't got to take it with you. Everything don't have to go with you. It might not apply to you right now. You might be able to go back to it at a later date and pull from it.
Right.
But we're just sharing our lived experiences, and we're glad to be able to do that openly with you all. We want your feedback. We want you to engage with us. So up here at this front table, we have index cards and we have pens. I want you to start thinking about this as you grab your index card and pen. Start thinking about what are some personal characteristics about you that if you were dating, and I don't even really care what your relationship status is. I want you to think about this as if I were dating, what relationship characteristics would I share that I have with another person? Would I tell that person that I'm not a morning person? Would I tell that person that I have a lot of charisma? Would I tell that person that I'm a people person, an introvert, whatever? Write those things out on your index card. And as you grab a couple of cards, because also as we're talking, if some questions come up, write it out on the index card, because we're going to have you come up to the mic here and you can ask your questions or you can share your statements over here. So we're not at that place yet, but I want you to be prepared for when we get there. So that's it on that part.
Okay. Safety precaution. If you eat the fish and swallow the bones, get some white bread and just eat that, catch the bone out your throat.
While you're choking.
Yeah. Don, I am not doing a Heimlich on your ass. So I'm just gonna put that out there. Data from the Real has did a lot for me. It has opened certain pores in my personality. It has allowed me to expand who I am. So like when I saw the dynamic between you two on the phone, because me and Babe would be riding, and they have a whole conversation wherever she at in California, and she driving here in Dallas. Dallas, she driving 5 miles, that's 30 minutes. And I'm like, and I'm listening to this dynamic. I'm like, babe, why the hell y'all ain't doing this? It's not me you need, it's her. So Shy, you kind of balance each other out. So that's the realest thing I've seen besides this over here. But I'm just gonna shoot our own horn over here. Now, real talk about how Don and I actually got on this subject was I met him at your event. It was a vision board party. So yes, men do vision boards.
A little messy, but I just scrambled.
Hey, it's all for you, bro.
I still got it.
You still got it? Yeah, okay. So, but we started smoking together, and I was like, yo, like you said, let's bring him as a guest. And the way you kind of worked with me and I worked with each other, we opened up more of a dynamic that I needed. And I appreciate that. So good job, fella, for bringing this just extraness to me. I need it in my
You're
life.
welcome.
All right.
That's not how I recall it, but
How the hell you recall it?
I recall it.
Be
I
real
was
about it, because I'm
chilling at
not.
the house smoking a cigar, and Marcus come calling me and say, "Man, I need you, dog." No, but yeah, it's legitimately that's what he said. Like, you know, and we kind of conversed and we talked about it, and I was like, I'm do as much as I can to see how I fit in. I just didn't want to come in and put my foot in. So, you know, and follow his lead, let him work the man behind the board, and we just blended. We started catching up on ideas, switching ChatGPT notes, and it's like, oh man, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Everybody know me lying about me, because
With ChatGPT?
No, about how I called you up. If I called you, I'd have been stuttering. So you know some bullshit. And this is why I really appreciate cell phone companies now. They don't charge by minutes. My cell phone was messed up.
You get that old prime code.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm finished.
Well, but the other thing I want to talk about is and highlight is the viewers. You know, I really want to thank you all who have consistently shown up, who consistently watch, who continue to ask, you know, what's going on, who send thoughts and ideas about topics that you all want us to discuss and explore. And when you watch, you're so engaged with the comments. We're trying to keep up with the comments when we're talking, because people are so engaged, and we cannot do this without the viewers. Lastly, today, you guys see that we're all together. Usually we are virtually, you know, you see us virtually. And so we're all in one place together. This is not, what is it?
COVID?
No, this is not we didn't insert pictures to make it look like
Already, right.
Photoshop.
Okay.
It's not Photoshop. We actually all here together, right?
I know. I'm like, pocket
Like we can touch each other. Like,
Still working on
hey.
those skills, on Photoshop skills.
So we want to highlight my very good friend, my brother Tony at El Jefe Cigars in Dallas, Texas. So if you are in the Dallas area, get out here, support El Jefe Cigars at 115 North Carroll in Dallas, Texas. And all hand-rolled cigars, beautiful ambiance, always a vibe. So you come down here and you support our friend and our brother Tony at El Jefe. Thank you for allowing us to host this event here this afternoon. We truly appreciate you. Couldn't do it without you.
Never can.
So it always takes community, right? We talk about community. We talk about support. We talk about showing up for each other. This was the opportunity to do that. And so thank you all for coming out and showing up in support, because that's what it's about. So without further ado, let's get this thing started.
All right, cool. So the reason for today's topic, have you ever seen that thing on YouTube and now on Netflix about Pop the Balloon? I know you have. You can't avoid it. It's like, damn, pop. And you be like, haha, I ain't gonna lie. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I laugh at it, I watch it in the little clips. But how real is it? How sustainable is it? How superficial is it? When you're trying to find a partner in life, can I say, hey, and 3 seconds later, pop a balloon, say, I don't care what you look, I don't like what you look like. What's one? Another thing I had trouble with was like, look at the emotional intelligence of the average person on there. If the emotional intelligence ain't there, the sustainability, long term ain't gonna happen. So we need to make sure we can get past the pop the balloon idea of this being the norm.
Yes, so let's kind of talk about what that is for those that don't know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Because some people may not know about it.
Okay,
I didn't know about it until my cousin showed me this. So Pop the Balloon thing it's a YouTube show that I believe they just sold to Netflix. The premise of the show is there are about 6 to 8 people that are standing there with a balloon. A man or a woman comes out. When they come out, they immediately come out and they choose to pop a balloon, which indicates that's not a person they're interested in. that is solely based on nothing other than the physical appearance of that person. That's common sense. It's clear. We understand that that's what's happening because they haven't opened their mouth. They don't know anything about them. They come out and they pop a balloon, right? So the person is still standing there. Then the person that comes out asks a question of this 6 to 8 people standing there. People answer the question, and then that person goes and pops 2 more balloons. Okay. They're eliminating people now, supposedly based on that one question. Okay. Then they ask another question and they pop additional people's balloons. And that only leaves what? 2
more
people
left.
So after that, they're making a decision between 2 people. So it's looks and 3 questions that they probably have got in at this point. And they're making a decision if whether or not they want to date that person just based on that information alone. Okay. So when I said get an index card and write out your characteristics, those are the things that you want to focus on more, right? I'm not saying that you don't have to be attracted. You shouldn't be attracted to a person because you should. But sometimes a beautiful face and a handsome face don't turn out to be who you want them to be in terms of connection, right? They might look good, but they might not be the person for you. So let's start talking about what type of characteristics do you have? How do you show up for yourself, for other people, those types of things. So when you write out that on that index card, you're writing out what you would tell a person if you met them and you're having a general conversation. So we're going to start with how many people wrote out their index cards. Let's start there. Okay. So we got 2 people in the audience that have basically volunteered. 3? You got 3? Okay. So we got 3 people that have volunteered, right? So if the 3 of you all would share what you have on your card, and I'm going to have 3 people in the audience that did not write anything on their cards to hold a balloon. Just hold the balloon for us. And the balloons are sitting over there in the chair. Where the pens at?
Ooh.
Now, this is pretend. No, you guys hold the balloon. They have the cards. So you all over there hold the balloons.
Yeah.
And then you're going to hear what these people are saying about characteristics, right? You're not going to look at what they look like. You're just going to hear what they're saying, okay? And then you're going to, after you hear what they say, you might have questions, or you might just want to pop the balloon based on the characteristics that you hear. Is that clear? Y'all get it? Okay. So, yeah.
You gonna give it to him, Vanna? Go on, Kiki Shepherd.
So she's going to give you the pens to pop the balloon if that's what you want to do.
I'm not right. You got it?
You know, because this is kind of an experiment we're doing. And it's a domino effect. We really want to see how things can be superficial or how it may not be superficial, how things are maybe are negotiable, non-negotiable, how things could be a difference is not a deal breaker. And that's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you and I are vastly different.
Mm-hmm.
But we work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Don and I are vastly different, but it works. Shamika and I, we're kind of the same. But we still work. Just not in the same manner.
Yeah.
You know. So now, when you first saw Pop the Balloon, what you thought?
I thought it was another society norm gimmick show that follows the trends that's happening on social media. Because they have a variety of the shows, but the ones I was watching, it was more of a younger generation, which tend to gravitate to looks first before learning about a person's personality. Because they will go with looks, and a person can treat them like crap, and they still hanging around. He's like, why are you with this person who's not no good for you? but he looks good or she looks good. And so, she's fine or something. So something like that.
And so, real honestly saying, what I hear what you're saying is, you can have a swan, but that spirit can be an ugly duckling.
Yeah, hang on to that beautiful swan.
Yeah.
That she's bleeding dry.
A trophy don't satisfy you.
You're right.
A trophy won't satisfy you. All right. What you thought about Shy when you first saw it?
I remember watching it online first before it got on Netflix, and I thought it was very superficial. And it was interesting when you mentioned the emotional intelligence, right? When they came out and they would pop the balloon, and it didn't seem like, well, I think the guys were more upfront, like, well, you don't look like my type, and you look like, one guy said, you look like you read tarot cards. Are you into tarot cards? Like, okay, that was superficial. And I was like, eh. And so I thought it was just a gimmick. Like, okay, we're just being funny. I didn't think it was a real dating, like a real dating show. So yeah,
I didn't take it seriously either. And I really because they asked the question, right? They say, well, why did you still have your balloon in your hand, right? So the person will say, well, I thought they were cute and I wanted to hear more. And then some people are just mean. They're just like your feet. I don't like your feet. Like, it just be like crazy stuff, right? But when you have masses of people watching this and taking this in, and they're young, that's how they think relationships go. You just pop a balloon and you just keep going until you get the person that looks like what you want them to look like. But we're not talking about the substance of people, right? We're not getting to the root of it. And people don't know how to meet people, get to know them. And all of us have some non-negotiables, right? Everybody got a non-negotiable. One of mine is, you better not put your hands on me. That's a non-negotiable. I'm going to knock your ass out. I know that about me. So all I'm saying is, everybody has a non-negotiable. Know what that is going in. There are things that we need to know when you go into a relationship. How do you should know those things. And sometimes people, you ask the person, well, what are you looking for? Oh, I like to go bowling. And okay, but what are you looking for? Also, you need to know what it is you want and desire in a relationship. And so sometimes just taking that pause to think about, well, what do I want? It's okay if you don't know what you want. That tells you I may not be ready for a relationship right now, right? Or maybe I need to dig a little deeper to figure out what that looks like. So it's all about kind of taking the moment to reflect on what a relationship looks like for you, not what everybody else thinks, because everybody got an opinion. Who cares? Everybody thinks something about something. It doesn't matter. I need to do what's best for me.
Right.
Yeah.
You can have an opinion. You might feel like, oh, she don't need to be in a relationship with that person over there. It's none of your business. She might not need to work that out with that person over there. It's none of your business. She might not need to do this, and he might not need. It's none of our business. Like, and it's about doing what makes you happy, and staying true to that. That's what it truly is about. But do you know what you really want is the question. And sometimes when you walk into something and you're like, it's not working out, and there's all of this conflict, it is truly because you don't really know what you want. You haven't defined that yet. And that can cause all of that conflict between you all because you're unsure. So I'm going to ask Missy first. What do you have on your card, Missy?
You want to come up here, Missy?
Yo, you got to come up here, Missy, on the mic.
The camera. Put you on blast.
Mic check.
Remember y'all assignment with the balloons. If there's a characteristic that you hear and that's non-negotiable, doesn't work for you, pop the balloon.
Okay, so this is a lot, but that's just me.
But this is the real part of what happens sometimes, right? Some people have very little to say. Some people got a lot to say.
So my first one is a spiritual connection, great communication skills, able to hold an intellectual conversation, shows maturity, faith, belief in God, a deeper root for higher intimacy beyond sexual, future goals to grow together, teamwork and partnership, commitment in the relationship, family and moral values, balancing roles in the relationship, and honesty and support. And my number one should have been emotional support.
Ooh, that's good, Missy. I ain't heard no pop balloons. That's good. All right.
Good.
Thank you for sharing that. Markeisha, you ready? No pop balloons.
I know one person better than pop a balloon. I ain't gonna say no name.
So the first one that I listed was a great listener. Definitely because in any relationship, you need to be able to hear what the other person is saying and not kind of be on the defense all the time. Just understand where they're coming from, and that helps both of you grow in the long run. Being considerate of someone else's feelings always. Adventurous, that's tapping into just being out there and willing to try new things and loving even in difficult times, because we all are going to have hard times in our relationships.
Yeah.
But it matters if you're still being a loving person, even if you're mad at the end of the day or a day later or a day after that. You got to come back and just try to figure things out and work through it. And the last one I put is supportive, because we're going to always be growing in our relationships. Everyone changes. You should never be stagnant in who you are. And you're always going to be trying to do something different. So you got to be supportive with your partners.
Love it. So nobody popped the balloon. So I think,
and the thing is too, here's the thing. So I feel like we have a lot more experience under our belt too. And the thing is that when you're young, you don't know what you want because you barely know who you are. And so there's so many limited experiences with younger people I remember being a teenager thinking I knew everything, and no, I didn't. And so as we get older, though, we have experiences. That's why it's I always like encourage people to like meet people, get to know people, and don't, if it didn't turn out right, it's okay, because what did you learn about yourself?
Yeah.
And so it's important to know who you are. Yeah. And the only way to do that sometimes is to meet somebody that's not that's not okay with you. That's not okay for you. Yeah. Sometimes that's okay. You might have a horrible experience, but what did you learn about yourself in that horrible experience?
Yes.
What did you learn that you definitely didn't want? And what did you learn that you definitely did want?
Yeah.
And how was your character in the midst of that? What did you need to work on? What do what worked and what didn't work in that situation? And so I appreciate you guys for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And I thank you for your wisdom and in just speaking that, emotional maturity. And that's, basically what you guys we're saying is this emotional maturity that we're looking for,
Yeah.
And so I saw you start writing. You was like, oh, let me put it. I'm just messing with you.
So Josh, you want to come up and share yours? I know some of them.
Yes, you probably do. I just wrote 3 down. My toxic trait is I don't like to text, call me.
Oh. You don't like what?
I don't like to text, call me. Don't mean that I won't.
I hear you.
But I prefer that conversation over the phone.
Yeah.
I do.
Speaking of which, number 2, healthy conversation is my love language. Can we find a way to communicate and work together even though we disagree?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
My 3rd one, I like to go out. I like to move around because my business keeps me on the go. But I'm learning to stay at home more. Can you deal with my impulse that makes me want to go outside?
Damn.
Ooh.
Nice.
Well, hold on, because outside.
It's the second outside.
Because you added an extra one. I just want to know what the outside means.
It's an impulse, so necessarily I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it might be going to Deep Ellum. Sometimes it just might be getting place, chill, listen to jazz music like that. It's an impulse. I don't
spontaneous.
Very spontaneous. So it just can you work with it?
Okay.
All right. That's good, Josh.
That was good. Mm-hmm.
That's real good.
So let's go ahead. We first be real about it. Josh, those are great, but I know if you was in another environment where people are just a tad bit younger, your first one would probably been pop. About not call when they say Call, don't text.
They
Yeah.
like to text.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
A young
Yeah,
woman would have popped the balloon for that.
You know,
But I'm with you. I need to talk to you. I need to hear your voice.
Yeah.
I need to hear your tone.
Because they don't like to talk on the phone.
Make sure you put 3 words
thing about it though, that's where he operates, and they have to appreciate the way he operates.
Yeah.
And maybe if they get past that, and they can see who this man is, and why he wants to talk on the phone, and why he likes it. There'd be so many other things that you could discover about this gentleman that you miss because you don't want to talk on the phone because you want to text. Because what's the third thing he said? I'm a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
You potentially missing out somebody who's hardworking, who's trying to get it done for his family, all because you want to pick up a phone and say, "Hey, baby," or "Hello." I ain't calling you baby now, but you can say hello.
Hey, baby.
You know, and this is what we're saying. You sometimes you're a diamond, right? I consider you a diamond. You have to get the layers of coal off, and you'll get one of the most valuable minerals on the planet. And people are possibly missing out on that because the simplest thing to adapt to. It ain't something like, oh, I don't want a man who don't work or who works 1,000 hours, something like that. It's something you got, to me, something simple that's a negotiable or a compromise can keep you missing out because you just stubborn.
Right.
So Josh, that first one was great, and I think that's a prime example.
And I was gonna say too, even with just again everybody sharing, again that's okay for people to be eliminated. It's okay because then that means they weren't it, and so I know and yes, I agree with the youngsters. They were like, guess what he wanted? My phone number.
Yeah,
they do Instagram messages, and I'm like. And I'm looking at them like, you don't talk to them. They're like, oh my God. Like,
they're disturbed by that.
Yes. You want to talk on the phone. Oh, no, that's okay.
So cuz, I got one for you then.
Go ahead.
If the man approached you and said, hey, in the age bracket that you're accustomed looking for, and asked for your IG, say your number, would you pop that balloon?
And the game, oh, yes. Because I'll be like, what? Because I'm older. I barely be on Instagram. I don't even get the messages I do get on. I'm like, oh, it'd be like 5 months ago. I'm like, oh, somebody messaged. Who messaged you?
Right. That sounds like several people I know in this room. I won't mention their names.
What's over there?
I won't even look in the direction.
He said,
I'll just look down. Because there's nowhere else to look.
Yeah. I'm just saying, well, First of all,
it's like a shot like this.
Oh, screw it. She talking about me. I don't care. So we want to be real about it.
I'm talking about you and Tony.
I know it. Good people in TV land in the audience. Yeah, I don't check it. I don't read it. And guess what happened? I got married to somebody who I tried to holler at on Instagram. And it was an epic fail.
Epic fail.
So why should I go on something and keep failing? I lucked up and got a second chance in life. Why go back?
Epic fail.
All
Do
right.
not send me a message on Instagram.
This not everybody. This was before Chat BGTV. Because I want to holler at you using Chat BGTV. Say Chat BGTV.
He didn't change
Right
the whole
here.
name.
Right now.
Which one is it?
he didn't add extra letters. He didn't change the whole name.
Well, damn it, AI, give me a way to holler Kill McLean the poet to make me sound sexy, intelligent, and 100 pounds slimmer.
Yeah, get that camera angle.
Yeah. Without being like I'm trying to catfish her. I'll be real about it. I don't care.
Pictures.
No, I was happy being sexy then. Shit, it don't matter.
That's right.
I was always fluffy and fine.
Fluffy and fine.
Fluffy and fine.
You clowning today, baby.
I
love it. I love it.
I make that stomach.
Yes.
Shit, baby, I make that stomach work.
And look, I'm not even gonna go into the story about the IG. I wasn't even gonna mention it.
Wow, that's
Oh,
interesting.
But that's okay.
I'm securing it.
That's okay. I'm not gonna talk about it further. We're gonna move on. Because I had a flashback.
Hilarious. I get your
Looking at that IG message like,
Yeah, pop that balloon.
what is this?
I think
What you got,
the
Don?
reason we're not seeing any pop balloons in here is because of the maturity of the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there's a connection with most of us. Some coming here married or knowing each other for a while, so therefore we understand what the other person is speaking
Mm-hmm.
about, what they want or what they're seeking, because we want the same thing. We all want the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
If it was 20 years ago and we had the same concept and we come into a place where no one knows each other and they said, here's a balloon, and somebody said something, pop, pop, pop.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that we're knowing people
Yeah.
makes it a little bit more understanding, not to pop the balloon, be more respectable for what they have to say.
But it really truly essentially is about the visual, right?
Yes.
And whether anybody popped the balloon or not, it's to cause you to think a little bit more deeply. No matter who you are and where you are when you watch this, is to think a little bit more deep about when I get ready to make a connection, right? We understand that this is a Gen X crew mostly. We understand that we kind of went through some life things. And so we have some life lessons and we use those life lessons. A lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
But I still know people that don't, right? They make every excuse not to be in a relationship because of this or that. It may be their fears. It may be their insecurities. It may be a number of different things. And other than them be real about that, they'll make another person be the issue. Rather than just sit with themselves and try to figure that out, they'll just go to person to person to person, blaming people. But essentially, it's because you never really got to know who you are. That's like the bottom line. You never got to know who you are. And it's easier to just keep blaming the next person because you're not willing to sit with yourself and figure out who I am. Even as a single person, we talk about this on the podcast. I don't care if you're single, in a relationship, or married. Self-love is where we have to start, right? So I have to have love for myself. I have to know who I am as a person. I have to understand that so that my partner knows how to properly love me. If I don't properly love me, they get to come in and not properly love me. So we don't understand. There are a lot of things. This is not a conversation I would have even had 20 years ago because I wasn't there. But life has shown up for me in different ways that has almost forced me to learn. And sometimes we got to go through that. But there are people who still not learning. They just keep doing the same thing. This is a moment of pause and reflection so that you can pivot. So that whether or not you decide to be in a relationship or you decide to be single, do it healthy, do it whole, and choose healing over all that hurtful shit. Mad at the opposite sex, even that. I don't like women that bash women. So if a woman comes, men ain't this and men, I don't even want to have a conversation with you because you need to work that inner stuff out. I don't want to talk to a man who's bashing women because you need to heal and work that inner stuff out. Because every woman ain't bad and every man ain't bad. If that's been your experience, why aren't we looking within ourselves and doing some work to heal and resolve that? The reason why I've been sharing this a lot lately, the reason why I feel like I'm in the healthiest season of my life in terms of my relationships and connections is because I'm the healthiest I've ever been personally. So I'm attracting different people. I was able to attract my husband because I was in a different place. Before, I've been married twice before my current marriage. So you think I ain't learned some things going through 2 failed marriages? It's the life that if you're not learning, what you doing? You're repeating. You're doing the same thing over and over and over, and you're getting frustrated with them instead of yourself, which means you don't hold yourself accountable. And when you don't hold yourself accountable, then you don't grow. and you can't connect with people in a healthy way. So it's really about ending that cycle, stopping the bleeding, right? It's about ending that and stop making excuses, stop blaming other people, stop saying that everybody is wrong and doing this and that, because sometimes it's us. When I had to sit in that reality, it's painful, it's embarrassing, it's ugly, but it was me. A lot of it was me. So I had to deal with myself. And if you're not in a place where you can say, sometimes I be screwing up, you're not ready to grow. You're not ready to heal. It's not always other people's fault.
Man.
You know something, babe? We were talking about, we just said 20 years ago. I'm thinking like, damn, what was I doing at 29? But what it also occurred to me is, only thing age do is make you older. Age don't give you experience, don't give you wisdom.
Yeah.
You don't make your decisions any better.
Mm-hmm.
So I could find a 25-year-old who's wiser than a 45-year-old.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't necessarily say because the group of the age of the group, but the experience and the wisdom of the group, and that's what we have to focus
facts.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we'll see 50-year-old men with skinny jeans and trying to talk to these women. What you said? You like skinny jeans?
No.
You been popping balloons?
No, but it be pop. No, you know. No skinny jeans. No skinny jeans. No, sir. And I'm on the panel. I'm the only one that's single for real life. You know, and it always amazes me how a lot of older people think they can like they be old people, and they with the skinny jeans, or you know, they're trying to holler at younger people. And I'm like, but again, this is what I think. It's only because they've gotten away with it.
Yeah,
like they've gotten away with just being able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we've checked them. But then sometimes it's not even healthy to check somebody, because sometimes they might get aggressive. And so we might be fearful, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always interesting to me. And I'm like, you could be my daddy age.
Come here, young Tinder. Come here,
Yes.
young. I got some change in my pocket.
That's how I knew somebody was old too. It was a guy, he was bald. And he was like, and I sent him like just like a cute little picture of me. He's like, "Ooh, you look so young and tender." I was like, "Oh,
young and
tender." I was like, he said young and tender.
That's an OG.
Right. You didn't dye your face hair and cut your hair off so we can't see the gray.
Hey,
You just so young. I felt so gross. Like,
hey, they come with advantages. When you go like out to eat, they put the AARP card. You go to that discount. Man, we go to Denny's and eat good.
Not Denny's.
Cracker Barrel.
Not Denny's. I ain't going to no Denny's. I'd rather go to I go to Starbucks before I go to Denny's.
They ain't discounts.
I'm with you, cousin.
Yeah. I go to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Because I do like to meet like first face to face before we at dinner time. Like, let's get to see if y'all if I'm even, you know, first I start with the conversation. So I have learned that a conversation, I love good conversation. Oh my goodness. That will, and most men, y'all, I'm on the date nap. I told some of y'all know I'm on the date nap. And these date naps, like you start off messaging in the dating app, right? And the conversations are so basic, it just drives me crazy. Good morning. And if that's all, you got 3 lines. Good morning, how you doing? And I think that's it, might be 2 lines. And then after that, I feel like they're waiting for me to engage in. I'm not. If there's not a reciprocal, if you're not even asking me anything else, like I'm like, oh, I'm good. Cause I'm like, okay, let's get to know each other. I told one guy, I said, tell me about yourself now. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong, because
I will.
Okay, please do. Because I was like, oh, tell me about yourself. No, tell me about yourself.
Go ahead, Tony.
Put the speaker on. Put the mic on.
Oh, yeah, go to the mic.
We're blast.
Yes, go ahead.
So I recently got on the dating app, right? So
I see you. I'm
No. So, I'm experimenting, and trying some stuff out. So, what I found out is, because I'm a conversationalist face to face, right? So, I don't believe in having conversations. I tell them straight up, I do not do text message and have conversations. Mm-hmm. So the first one or two times, it's like, hello, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not having a conversation on text messaging. I don't like writing a lot. So, hello, how you doing? Respond back. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing fine. Hey, I just wanted to say, blah, 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 blah. And then you retort. And I tell you that, hey, I don't believe in this text messaging thing, So here's my Google Voice phone number.
And I'll take that.
And maybe we can have a conversation right there. But having a conversation through text I just end it right there.
I agree.
You want to have it. So
and I take that. I would take that. I would take give me the number. I can talk to you because I agree with you. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your tone. Yeah. And so there's no engagement or moving forward to having the conversation, then what's the point in we doing this? I don't want to pen pal.
Right.
Yeah, I want to pen pal.
And I'm getting off this dating app too. It's a joke. Dating apps are a joke.
How long have you been on it?
So I'm back on it. I'm back on it. So I let it go for a while, because I've met people and on certain things there's had some interactions and things, which was cool. But it's to me, I just you go through so much. It's just not.
It gets desensitizing.
I do.
Yeah.
I get desensitized, and I just said, okay, I'm gonna leave it alone, let it gather up some more different ones and stuff, And now I'm back on it. Last month, I'm back on the last
with a fresh batch.
The fresh batch.
Yeah. Fresh batch.
Actually, the app turned it back on because I put it on suspend. So the app turned it back on, and how I found that I was back on it, someone messaged me.
Oh,
I'm like, because I don't look at this stuff.
The fact you saw the message,
right. So that's how I got back on it, because I just wanted to just leave it alone. But anyway, it's to me, I'm getting back off of it because now I know why I stopped it. You know what I'm saying? So you reach out, you talk to someone, and it's sometimes it's not for the right reasons. I get a lot of that, I'm say my age, I'm up there. So I'm like you all, I think in a different way than some of the other ones, So
from a male perspective on a dating app though, would you say that your apprehension of staying on this app is more about the communication, or is it about you don't find that there's anybody that you find attractive and that you're connecting with?
No, it's a slew of attractive people on there. Slew of them. It's just the connection and different goals or different reasons why we're on that.
Gotcha.
It never sinks. People.
Gotcha.
A lot of people that I've noticed on there, they just like the attention.
Yeah.
They just like the attention. So I kind of gauged that again, and I said, okay, I'm done, because it's the same thing. It's a needle in a haystack as well. Finding that one that's on the same page as you are, that's on there for a specific reason, to date or either meet friends and things like that. A lot of them aren't on there for the reasons they're supposed to be. That's what I found out as a man, But yeah.
What they say?
But yeah, I'm at an age where it's different for me. I'm a little bit more serious. I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm not in my 30s. So now it's real talk. I'm trying to find the partner, the life partner. But I'm not trying to find. I hate that word, finding.
Yeah,
right.
So I would like to meet.
Yeah,
connect
with your
connect.
Connect.
Yeah. It's a whole different level, and especially as men, because men, when we get to that level and we want to do that, we want to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's good, Tony.
Tony.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing it.
I am getting off of them.
Eventually.
We got comments on
IG. So Kingpin Luxury Cigar Access says, looking for the cute hoochies is all the dating apps.
Oh,
So all dating apps we're looking. Is that true?
is that true?
I'm on dating app. I'm not looking for a hoochie.
So you think about the concept of how the dating apps were conjured up usually from a younger perspective, how to date. When we old school, like Tony, we want to go out, we want to meet people, we want to hang out, have a cup of coffee, sip some wine, and have their face to face. Well, younger audience may be on the go, so let me shoot you this message while I'm driving, and then I'll get back with you.
Mm-hmm.
That connection is you got to somehow fit into their circle of connection.
Yeah.
And now that you're saying that, it's like the balloon pop, right? So I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, swipe left. I like it. And swipe left. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I don't like that picture.
It is
Swipe
like
left.
the balloon.
You're right. Yeah, it's like the balloon pop.
All right, so I'm speaking from past experiences when I was on a dating app.
Long
Time ago. Over 4 years ago.
Give me a balloon. Josh got his sister back. Josh got his sister back.
2, 3, pop, pop, pop.
Come on.
So it can actually become like crack. You can go on there with intentions of finding somebody, but it's actually addictive swiping left, right, like it's a video game. And while you looking for something, the right one, you will find it happen. Like, okay, right now it work. Right now. But the problem is the right now is gonna block the right forever. We understand that. And back to what you were saying about
that's good though, babe.
You're like that. That's a cigar now. All right. All right.
I was like, did he get a cigar? The way he was hitting it, I was like, yeah.
I think he had a moment. I thought we were supposed to be in the moment, but he had the moment.
A long time ago, right? Let me hit that.
Yeah.
He said, look, Kingpin Luxury Cigar Access says, especially Christian mingle.
That was the site, Tony.
But it's the truth. Think about it. Let's take it back. We can talk about the younger generation and how they on the go, and this is how they do things. Shit, we ain't that old. I'm gonna hit you with the Black Planet. I'm gonna hit you with the chat line. We was hunting ass on chat line. So I can't blame that on necessarily on the dating app. That's how it evolved. We evolved that.
Yeah.
Take it back. Well, we was trying to find somebody.
We all put into it because they're gathering algorithms and data based on people swiping left and right. So they're looking at, oh, you like this face, therefore we're going to show you more faces that fit these features.
Man, bullshit.
I mean, that's basically.
I'll get slim, fat, half, pretty, half black. I don't give a damn. You swipe so much, it says out of options.
Damn. The hand be so hard.
You gotta pay extra to get some more.
Yeah. I ain't pay, wait.
Kingpin Luxury Cigar Access said, "Holy hoochies."
It's true.
What's that new Farmer's Day?
Farmer's Day, yeah.
Farmers want to date now, so they all come up with different concepts.
But honestly, it's really hard for the single people, especially of any age, to know how to go find or be seen or mingle with like-minded people. I cannot go to a club. I could probably meet somebody, but it's gonna take time to learn.
Yeah.
How can I have a conversation with you when the music is 500 decibels?
Yeah.
It's really impossible. Mm-hmm. So I think we just need a place that's meant for the like-minded people to mingle, and that's what we're trying to perpetuate is a big word, I guess. Yeah. So fuck it. We're trying where we can all get together, and this platform is how we're gonna grow together to be around mature people who are like mind. These big words are killing me today. All right.
That's all right.
And that's what it is. The dating app, there's nothing wrong with dating app. You just gotta take the bad with the good.
Right.
It's gonna be more bad. You gotta realize it'll be more bad than good.
Right.
Because think about it. How many people especially men, because I'm one of them, how much time you can go on there and you think about you just trying to find something for right now more than long term. And how many men actually you on it now? I'm asking this one. How many men you think read the damn profiles?
Because they do like the picture. They be like,
yeah.
We'll read the profile after we swipe the correct direction.
Are you reading profiles, Tony?
Yes.
Okay, Tony's reading.
For me, it's about attraction first. Oh, she looks nice. My type of, and then I read, and then I comment about the profile in my responding to that person.
Okay.
So I do, but he's right about men. Do that. They look on there and then okay, she looks good. Swipe left or right, whatever. But if they, it's a lot more of just the looks. They don't really read as a majority.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's a small few that actually.
So when Shamika said that swiping is very much like the pop the balloon.
Yeah, it is.
Because you are making an initial decision based on what that person looks like.
Yes.
I think the difference, though, is you can engage in conversation longer through an app than with Pop the Balloon. Yeah. It's literally very fast. It's 2 or 3 questions, and then that person is standing up with that person, and they gone.
Right.
If the profile is not correct, it's a pop. So it may look good or you look attractive to me, but if I read and it's something superficial or there's not enough on there,
misspelled words,
it's an IG address.
Yeah,
it's a pop.
Yeah.
So,
Swipe.
But that's just some people who are there for the right reason. I think.
Another thing I want to point out is real quick. We often forget what enhances a physical appearance is a personality.
Right.
Just because I was initially attracted to you, if I start talking to you, you're like, wow, I just start seeing a whole new light.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sometimes we get lost on apps and pop the balloons because on the app you can't see what's inside a person for real. Because if you think about it, how many times have you seen? And I know this is very surface, but how many times have you seen? It's like, oh, why is she with him? He don't look good enough to be with her. But she saw the inside of him that enhances his physical features. Like, okay, just like the previous person in the room, and you started talking to him. Your values went way down. You're not pretty to me no more because inside was ugly. So we gotta think about those things, and sometimes those don't come through on like the apps and pop the balloon. Yeah. And we just swiping left and right real quick based on physical attributes.
And see, I've always been a person that it goes for personality. I always, because looks can change and looks can fade. So I'm more interested in what type of person are you, right? Do I like you as a person? Because you can look good, but then I don't like to talk to you. I don't like to be around you. We don't have anything in common. So you just fine, but there's nothing else, right?
That's it.
So for me, it definitely comes down to, and that's something I've really kind of always been like that. I've never been focused on a person's look. I've been always really focused on what's your personality? Do we connect? I love to laugh. Be quiet. I love to laugh. I love to have a good time.
Man.
And another big part is you have to accept me for who I am, right? Because I am a person that kind of beats by my own drum. Like I do what I do, not like negatively, but again, I move around. I have a good time. I work. I have a business. There's a lot of different things that I do. And so you have to be able to embrace all parts of who I am. That's another big part. And a lot of times we don't consider some things. And then later on, it's like, oh, well, you knew this about me when we was dating, but I didn't know you was going to keep doing this 2 years later.
Oh, the expectations have changed.
Yeah. And so people expectations change because they feel like if a relationship dynamic changes, i.e. marriage, oh, well, you're not supposed to be this person anymore because we got married.
Right.
But and I think that's what actually works with my marriage now, is there was no expectation for me to be anything differently than who I was.
Yes.
He accepted me 4 years ago. He accepts me now. And so those types of things are important to me because, again, looks can fade. They can change. They can alter. You know, I was skinnier when we met. Then I got thicker. Then I lost some more weight. And so those types of things are going to happen. I had less gray hair. Things are going to change about us physically. I need to like you as a person. And sometimes we don't think about those things. Do I like you as a person?
Man.
Is this going to be, are we going to have longevity here?
Right.
You know? We got more comments?
Tiff MCC 2000 says, oh, nothing. It was just she's watching. Oh. I thought she commented this live video. I was like, what is the question? Anyway, my bad. Ray, True Life Official says, social media killed that. Everybody wants instant gratification.
Yep. Instant gratification.
Does not equal long-term satisfaction.
Right.
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
That's a new word. Satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
I am satisfied.
That's that booty tank talk.
Y'all love to show y'all age.
So this is what I'm talking about. So if you notice, everything is in layers. Negotiables, non-negotiables, wisdom over time, decision making, getting past superficial. And it's funny because when he popped the balloon about how you would expect on a dating app, but thing about it, because he popped the balloon, he never found out y'all was on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the funny thing. Sometimes you got to pause.
Yep.
Yeah.
And don't react.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and that's, especially as men, we are very impulsive about a lot of things. Like, I want to go outside.
Let's go.
It's we are a lot of times we can be impulsive.
And you know, and even so, so for me with men, right? Because I also, so how do I say this? Okay, so I know that men can be, I know they need to be a leader. I need to know they want to lead, and I want somebody that's going to lead. Like I want somebody that's going to be that. So I don't so I try not to, because I can't be impulsive one. I can be the impulsive one. And I'm like, oh, text me, call me. And I stop doing that. Pull back. Okay, I'm going to let you see where this goes. Because if you're interested, then you'll pursue, because I've been told that men like to pursue. So I'll wait till they say, like, here's my number, here's the whatever number. And I'm like, okay, cool. If they don't, I don't. If they don't, I don't.
Come to the mic, Josh.
Mic check, mic check.
Come on, Josh.
1 2 1 2.
You about to start rapping?
Put it
Give me a beat. Hey.
Don't you know men like to be pursued too?
What? Say that again, sir.
Don't you know that men like to be pursued too?
He said men like to be pursued too.
And so I'll keep having the conversation. But if they're attracted to me, then I do expect the man to say, here's my number. So because I do want that, right? Mm-hmm. I want that. I do want a man to pursue me. So if they pursue me, then we're pursuing each other. I don't want to be one-sided either.
It won't be if you just say, hey.
All right.
I do say, hey.
All right. So this is what I gather out that. Yeah, there are some men who want to be pursued. Great. That's because
I like them first. I'm like, oh, handsome.
To each their own.
I'm pursuing, right?
But I think I like a lady back when I was single. But who know how to let me know they're interested and give me the window to come in and say, hey, how you doing?
But with the dating app, that's me liking it. That's me messaging saying, hey, handsome, or I like this comment, or I like, that's me doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, ball's in your court. That's how I see it.
I agree with that. That if I was on there, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the opening. So what do you think about that, Josh?
I'm the opening.
Forgive me.
I'm the one like, hey. Yeah. Like, I just swiped. I was like, hey. And I'm goofy, so I'll be like, "Hey, I like your smile," or "You ain't smiling enough. Let me see if you got all your teeth." That's me. I'm like, "You got all your gibbers?"
Let's go get some ice cream.
Nope. See, I won't invite. I won't invite because I want a man that wants to pursue me.
Oh, I'm talking about if I was the man. I'm like, hey, let's go get some ice cream.
And I'll be like, "Yes, let's go
Get
get
some ice cream. You don't
I'm
need no
like,
teeth.
I'm about to say, wait.
You don't need no teeth for that.
No ice cream because you got no teeth.
No nuts.
I'm like, wait a
no
minute.
nuts.
Catfish.
Right. I'm like, wait a minute. And I walk past like, he's smiling, gumming. Sorry.
I feel that we've presented different aspects of conversation, of dating with apps or in person, because you could be on a dating app, you could be in person, you could be going down to the corner store, you could be in 7-Eleven, you could be at Safeway. Not every person you meet or mingle with is going to fit what you're seeking at that moment. It may be just person's conversation. Then you may meet someone later and you're like, oh, I actually vibe with that person. Let's see if there's a connection there. So not one instance is the perfect combination. You have to sometimes mix it up a little bit.
We're gonna mix it, right?
Yeah.
So I got a question for you, Darth. Yes, Darth Therapist.
Well, hold on. I just want to mention Safeway. We old.
Right. I said, y'all love showing y'all age.
Safeway.
Y'all love showing y'all age.
No, we still got Albertsons. In California, we got Albertsons.
It's in Mesquite. Yeah, right. This is oxtails. Anyway.
In Albertsons?
Yeah, this is oxtails and Albertsons.
Oh, okay.
So, no, we got Southern Albertsons. You got Cali Albertsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sell like
Trader Joe's.
Yeah, but anyway, as a therapist, do you see a decline in the social aspect of real life pursuing or trying to ask somebody out and get a conversation going in person because of dating apps? Like, oh, I'd rather go online and try to find this person than me. If I'm sitting next to somebody who I'm attracted to and don't know how to engage in a conversation to ask for this person to go out with me or go on a date or actually pursue a relationship. Do you see decline? Is that a decline in that, or do you see a reaction because people too focused on the phone doing it?
Well, I think that after COVID, I think that made it even big. I think people got a lot of anxiety with social interactions and interaction. Excuse me, socially. I think COVID did that too, and a lot of people. And I remember, because I deal with teens on up to the older folks, and a lot of the teens. So these are the people up and coming, right? The teens that are up and coming. It took a minute when COVID came back for some of the teens to even take off the masks because they want to hide behind it.
Wow.
Yeah, it took I know a couple of teens that were like, I didn't want to take off the mask. Like the school told, like they made them like after a year, they was like, no, you got to take off the mask. But I think that after COVID, I think it created a lot of anxiety in people for social just interacting socially. Yeah. And so not even just for dating, right? I think social media and stuff gives us the out to be able to not have to be socially interacting face to face. It gives us the out. So we got options. Now I have an option to choose, just like in the dating app. People have options of how many women they want to choose on a dating app. They can be like, I can pick. And I remember somebody told me, they was like, a man would be like, you want, like, if I got a plethora of women, I'm picking the plethora, right? I'm picking 99 out of the. Okay, you got that now. Now you have that option to do that, you know. And so, and I just think that we just have options now.
Okay. I was just curious. That came to my mind just now. Like, let me ask you. I ain't gonna remember later. So.
right. I get it. I understand.
So we're gonna pause here to see if anybody in the audience has questions or comments or something that you would like to add to this conversation. Come on up, Josh.
Let's pull your chair, Josh.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you for engaging.
I go like with this conversation, do you think that intention is a lost value?
Do you think intention is a lost
Intention.
is a lost value?
No, I think people got intentions. I think their intentions just not my intentions all the time. Some people intentionally want to find somebody they just want to have sex with, and that's okay. So intentions, no, because they know their intentions. Most people know their intentions. I want somebody, or I just want to, and so no, I don't think it's lost. I think people are not honest and upfront with their intentions.
Is there a difference in being able to identify your type versus what's sustainable for a long-term relationship?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
That's a real good question.
Yeah, repeat that one more time.
Say that again loud so they can hear you back there.
Is there a difference in being able to identify your type versus what's sustainable for a long-term relationship?
That's good.
Yeah, in my opinion, they may not be one and the same. Because I can have a type. Don't mean that type is right for me. Hell, my first marriage, I thought she was my type. You see, we ain't together no more. So maybe I do have to adjust my type later during the line through experiences, but just the type itself, I think that should be fluid. That means that should be, it could change because not everything you think is good for you is right for you.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
I got two more.
No, we love the questions.
Oh, yes.
Not our relationships are the same, but are there some non-negotiables that should be in all relationships? Is that why Pop the Balloon is like how big it is? Because people just don't know what those non-negotiables should be in a relationship, period.
So hold on, babe. For y'all answer that question, I just want to be clear. We are not knocking Pop the Balloon. Hey, we will not knock anybody hustle.
Right.
Get out there, do what you do. If it's successful, keep pushing. I'm proud of y'all. It's just not how we handle things. And I want to put that out there first and foremost before we answer that question. Go ahead, babe.
So I think that non-negotiable, you said, is it for everybody?
Like the non-negotiables in relationships.
Maybe people don't know what they're non-negotiables are.
What are non-negotiables in relationships, and are people like, do you think people are actually looking for what that is?
I don't think that people have non-negotiables at the forefront. So I think because it's not at the forefront, that's how it comes out later. And then people are like, yeah, I don't like that about them. Because they're not clear about what they like, and they're not clear about what they don't like.
Yeah.
And what they don't like is under the non-negotiables, right? So they're not thinking about that because we're just walking into stuff. And all of that is just based on that physical attraction at first. And then a lot of times, to be honest, we introduce sex into it right away, right? And so now you're like, oh, I'm in a relationship because I like the way they look. We had sex, so I guess we together.
Pretty much.
So that happens, and then you end up with a person for a year, 2 years, and you realize, I don't even really like this person.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what I wanted when I got with that person.
You know what? And I want to bring up that too, because I feel like sex, okay, if we take away the whole, if we take away the taboo about sex, right? What if I do want to engage in sex, right? What if I do want to enjoy this person? I like the conversation. I want to engage in it. That does not mean that's my man. It does not mean that's somebody I'm going to be with, right? So it's still, you still have to be paying attention. Just because you have sex with them does not mean anything. It's just sex can be both enjoyable for both parties, right? And again, if you know that that's like making sure you know that, okay, this person just wants sex. And so I'm engaging in it too because I'm enjoying it. That does not, again, know the difference. Know the difference. Be aware, because that's where the mix-up comes, right? Oh, I thought because we did, I thought she was my man. Yes. And it's like, no, we just had sex, and that's okay. Like, there's no judgment about that. There's no judgment. And if it sounds like I had judgment because men want sex, that's fine. I want y'all to want sex. Love sex. It's beautiful. But women need to know that, okay, this is what it is going in. You know, and something else men like will tend to say it. But even when you do engage in it, know that you still have to pay attention. If this is a person you want, you're not in a relationship just because you have sex with them. Just be aware. Am I that,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I have a follow up to Josh's first part when he said the non-negotiables. Having conversations before, when you say, is it like everybody has the same non-negotiables? Just conversations I had, I don't think people come and say, okay, here's my list of non-negotiables as part of the first conversation. And as Kia said, over time, you can get to understand those non-negotiables, say, I don't like that, or don't do that again. But I don't think up front people are going to list everything, because even if you're trying to get to know a person, that could be a turnoff. If you come with a list of, well, you can't hit me, you can't beat me. Yeah, we're just having a conversation. We will get to that if there is a connection where we can discuss, but I'm not for certain if that's what you're asking about the upfront non-negotiable.
I was definitely asking about that because, I believe in our culture we go by what's understood should be explained.
Yeah. Of course.
And a lot of times you be thinking somebody understand you, but you ain't made it clear.
Yeah.
Those are non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Yes.
And usually you find out when a person messes up, he's like, don't do that again.
Yeah.
Right.
But you never had a conversation so that they can know that in the first
Right.
place. So I think there's a lack of retrospect to being able to just straight up say, hey, look, I like trustworthiness. I want you to always be able to be comfortable in telling me the truth, whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
Somebody who's not used to that won't be able to handle that, even though you said that to them. So saying you're non-negotiable up front will make it easier on the person who ain't never came from a situation like that. So
Understood.
I'm thinking that if people were so upfront more with who they really are, their non-negotiables, you wouldn't have those certain stereotypes.
I've seen that.
And Josh, that's good, and I agree. That is what Marcus and I did when we met. Actually, we had really in-depth conversations. I mean, and I think that was organic because of what we had gone through before, right? It was like, okay, let's have some deeper conversations that we haven't had in the past. Let's ask questions of each other that we have not asked before that led to the demise of previous relationships, right? So it's like, okay, you learn from those things, and then you have to be open in your communication with people. So even with my friendships, even with people that I collaborate with, you learn to have a deeper level of communication with people, because when those lines are skewed, that's where confusion comes in. That's where disagreements come in, right? Because of that line that's skewed, because you thought something rather than communicated that with me. I'm dealing with that right now with something. Somebody thought something, and that ain't what I communicated to them. They assumed. So now we at a crossroads because you assumed something that I didn't say to you. You took it upon yourself to think this. And that's what we do a lot of times. We just assume and put ourselves in a position to have combat with people.
Tiff MCC 2000 said, a man who lacks vision is a non-negotiable. I think somebody with little kids, for me, is a non-negotiable.
That was my non-negotiable when I was dating.
Yeah.
No little kids.
Mine is grown.
But I also think about non-negotiables, like you said.
No little kids.
You get a little bit too serious now. Shit. All right, but now I was saying, but a lot of things with not being said, but there's also things that's not being understood by the person about their non-negotiables. Because certain things that should be non-negotiable, they don't understand that should be non-negotiable. Like how I make your self-esteem, how I not to demean you, belittle you, to bring you to where I need you to be. That should be a non-negotiable. That's an unwritten non-negotiable. I think all people should have. I should be able to keep who I am and not you mold me. I shouldn't have to tell you that. Or sometimes we don't know. We should let that. Sometimes we don't know we're being manipulated.
That's why you have to take your time, though. That's why it's important to take your time to see who they are, and even have. And I'm going to speak on experience. Like, it's also also, and we talked about this before, like how I feel when I leave that person or how I feel in the conversation with that person. If I feel built up, happy, and joyful when I leave, I'm like, okay, this is a possibility. If I feel like, okay, I feel tired, I'm like worn out, I feel like I did too much, like I've tried to fight for something, and that's not what I want. I don't want to fight for anything, you know. So it's like I'm not going to fight for anything. If it has to be a mutual thing, and even getting to know somebody. So even identifying if it's a good friendship, like we can have a good friendship. I've you know, and because the thing is that again, I say this all the time, I'm a weirdo. And it's certain things that I like that most men are like, get out of here. Like, I'm not doing none of that shit, right? And so I have to be like, okay, because this is part of who I am. So maybe you're not comfortable, and it is okay. It is okay, but we good. We have the conversation. We cool. Like, it's cool. But I know that you define what my points of view, my belief systems, it might not be yours, and it's okay because I'm a weirdo and I know that. So I need to meet another weirdo. You know, I just need another weirdo. But knowing that again, but I'm okay with but I'm in a space right now of enjoying being me. I enjoy being me. I value me. And I love me like I am. And I can't have somebody that's like, no, you gotta stay in this box. You gotta stay in this box. Because I won't even fit in the box. I can't fit in that box. I don't want to fit in the box because I want to just be free to be me. And so most guys are like, nah. So I gotta be like, okay.
Has the values changed the way you see relationships?
Has the values changed? Values of
like your values. Have your values changed the way you look at relationships?
My values change the way I look at relationship. Well, my values have changed throughout time.
Yeah.
Because as I'm getting older, certain things that was when I was younger was important, and now it's not. Yes. And Tiff MCC says same. Mine is grown too. Grown now. She's talking about kids. Kids is non-negotiable. Grown kids. And I love kids. I do. And I know Shymika. So if I start talking to you and I like you, I will start loving your kids, and I'll be mad at myself because I don't want to raise my kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, and like I said, our values do change.
Yeah. You want them to change.
Because what was important at 25 is not important. May not be as important now, or what was unimportant at 25 is more valuable now, especially as getting older. Hey, stability is like number one compared to when you're 25. Like shit, we'll pay that later.
I think the last thing is accepting when that person isn't your person, right? Just taking a lesson from that and saying, I was able to identify, right? Like, I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to identify when a person isn't your person. Instead, you know, we try to force ourselves into spaces with people. We try to force connections with people. And sometimes it doesn't work. And that's okay. Allow yourself to get the lesson in that and move forward and take that lesson with you when you meet the next person and then the next person. Because it might be, I might learn something from you. You just might not be the romantic connection for me. You might be a friend of mine. We might be able to work together and collaborate on business stuff.
Other things.
But being able to identify that, like, give yourself grace for honoring that and saying, you know what? Being honest with that person. I like you. I think you're a cool person. You're amazing. But in terms of a love connection, romantically, I don't see that for us.
Right.
And instead of walking away and blocking them and, you know, being immature about, unless they've done something disrespectful or something like that, no, show up and tell people that, because that is going to elevate your communication style too.
Yes.
You're going to know how to be able to articulate yourself. If you don't like a person, if you like a person. If I don't like you, I should be able to say to you, you know what? Our time has passed. You know, now I will say this, everybody's maturity level is different.
I was going to say that.
So some people can't accept that.
Oh, ain't that cute?
So some people can't accept that I don't want to be connected to you anymore. They want an explanation, then you can give them the explanation. They still don't like that explanation. You are able to identify that, you know, use your discernment when it comes to that. But I'm saying if you're able to have a conversation with a person in a mature way and say, you know what, this doesn't work for me. I wish you the very best in your journey, but I don't think we're a match. And you can keep it moving. And so I think that there's growth that happens there, and that opens you up to connect more authentically with people going forward.
Yeah, so I agree with that wholeheartedly. That means you are having a certain level of emotional intelligence. If we go out, you go a couple of times, and we decide we decide we're better off as friends, but maybe we are better off as friends. Like, hey, we can discuss certain situations without no kind of romantic thing. Just because I went out with you don't means, and it didn't work out, it means I have to dislike you. I don't have to disassociate with you. You know, going out is nothing but a trial.
Yep.
It's a trial.
Yeah.
You know, if you go have a flavor ice cream. But I don't like pistachio. But that's all right. But it may good for this person. It's good. It's a pretty color. That's just not for me, and it's something I want to choose to have.
And even as women, we need to be able to say, you know what, but I know somebody that might be good for you.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to do that. It's okay to say, you know what, you're not for me, but I got somebody that might.
And don't go too deep into that, because we're actually gonna our next topic is about that. So
okay, just play. Don't.
Shamika and we're gonna go deep into that conversation and our conversation next. Talking about, you know, meeting. You might meet a person that you find that is not your person, but they may connect with somebody that you know.
Oh, preview.
And yeah, that's a preview of the next podcast with Shamika and I. So make sure you tune in for that.
Yeah.
Babe, how do you want to close us out?
I think before we close out, I think we need to acknowledge somebody in the audience.
We need to acknowledge several people in the audience.
Let's do it then. I can't articulate it. I know my strengths in the relationship, and I ain't one of them.
So we started with acknowledgments, and we're going to end with acknowledgments. So we have someone in here that this podcast has been going for almost 4 years. This person has watched almost every episode for 4 years. This person has been there since the very first episode. The very first episode.
The first one. Got it. Right on.
And they still here watching. And in fact, they came out today. And they in the audience.
All right.
Who is it, babe? That would be Missy. Missy, stand up, please. Thank you, Missy. And she got her shirt on representing. 2 years ago, we had a real big event. It was like a 3-day event. We exercised. We went to the park and we exercised. Then we had a picnic. We had a masquerade ball night. We had a good time. We had a really good time. And so we appreciate Missy's continued support. And which one, babe?
I think I put Missy on there.
So Missy, we have a gift for you.
Come on up.
And I'm going to stand here at this mic with you. And you can share any words you want to share with people about the podcast, about the experience, and share with the people. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Since the beginning, I was really just amazed at the group and amazed with the topics. And I just love what you guys represent, because it's a true relationship format where you can be able to ask questions, you can be able to be a part of a wonderful experience. Me, myself, I'm married, and I've been married for, come September, 18 years.
Right on.
And so being in a committed relationship and being able to still offer individuals information about how we're doing and where our growth is and how we continue to grow in our marriage, even if it's 5, 10 plus years, you're still learning that person, and you're still going to have to change and adapt to the surrounding of different things within them, because the person you might have met 10 years ago is probably not the same person you're going to be with 10 years later. So it's a learning and growth process in a relationship, and you got to be willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
That's the truth.
Thank you, Lisa. And again, we want to thank Tony for allowing us to have the podcast, host the podcast live here today. My cousin, who is typically my co-host on every other Tuesday, is usually in Cali.
Yes.
And we got her here this weekend. It's also my birthday weekend.
Yes.
So tomorrow we're going to celebrate my birthday.
Yes.
And book release.
Yes.
I am going to be launching my 10th book. And so I'm glad to have my cousin. I call her my spirit animal and my special needs animal. I be called a cousin. So
the fuck is upset now?
So thank you, cousin, for coming all the way to be here with me. I love you and I appreciate you.
Get Tony a gift.
Where's Tony?
Where's Tony?
Okay, so he went outside. So we'll give him his gift off camera.
Okay.
Who's the other gift for?
Well, she's not here today.
Okay.
One of our top contributors is Miss Yvette.
Oh yeah, she didn't come.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Miss Yvette, when you go on the Dara Facebook page, just about every day you'll see a comment or a words of encouragement, quotes. There you go. See, that's not my quotes. And every day she's something valuable. Quote she put on there, and we appreciate that. And I just want to give her, show her acknowledgement for that. So next time we see you, Miss Yvette, we got something for you.
Yes. So again, thank you for everybody. You know, we got friends in the audience that are here. They didn't come up to the mic. They being shy for whatever reason today. They don't want to share, but we see them back there. And we appreciate y'all for coming out. Now, for those that aren't here live, the unfortunate part is you aren't here live. So when we turn this camera off, we're about to do a little bit of partying. Yeah. And you're not here. So you got to party at home by yourself or with your family, because we about to start to turn up a little bit.
And we probably gonna get a couple giveaways, a couple people.
We're going to give some giveaways to the people that are here.
Yeah.
So look how that worked out. We got enough to give everybody a gift.
Oh, for real?
Oh,
we spent too much money.
We spent too much money. Everybody gets a gift.
Oprah. Yeah.
Right.
So listen, this is Data Affirm the Real.
This has been Junior Lilly.
Marcus Goodwin.
Kia McLean the Poet.
Shanika Arnold the Dart Therapist.
And we're out. Peace.
Seeing eyes of mine, you see.